I'm Gun, and here are 5 Rune-keeper tips. Before starting with the tips, I just want to show you a couple of jewelry pieces that are pretty nice for an RK that you generally wouldn't think. It's the agility, finesse, and crit bracelets from the Ember Barter. Gives you a lot of finesse, crit, as well as a slot. The same goes for the rings. Since the main stat will got nerfed, agility is not bad for an RK. Number 1. Full attunement, Smoldering Wrath. Smoldering Wrath is probably any RK's favorite skill. But in order to maximize the damage output, there's a couple of things you need to be aware of. On screen right now, you can see the difference between Smoldering Wrath with no attunement. It's a 1 second channel duration. You can see the damage at the bottom. Then you look at the other one. This is maximum attunement. It's a 5.5 second duration and the damage is higher. So whenever you're using Smoldering Wrath, make sure your attunement is maxed out in the red bar. And then you pop your Smoldering. 5.5 second duration, a lot of damage. Number 2. Distracting Flame usage. Distracting Flame is a pretty simple skill. The 5 second cooldown gives you 3 attunement, and it slightly decreases your threat. Since Distracting Flame has no initial damage, if you use this more often than the bleed duration, you're gonna lose DPS. Since it has no initial hit, you should try to refresh this every time it's about to wear off. The most efficient way to use this skill is to try to use it like every 20 seconds. Number 3. Mystifying Flame stacks. When you start trading down into Redline, you're gonna reach a trait called Mystifying Flames. In rank 1, every fire skill you use has a 30% chance to apply a -5% fire mitigation debuff on the target. The 20 second duration. If you go to rank 2, it's -10, and rank 3 is -15. Now, if you're the only RK in the group, you should always have this on maximum. -15 fire mitigation. Having 3 out of 3 in Mystifying Flames also allows you to get the Empowering Flame buff. If you have 2 or 3 RKs in your group, it's possible to stack this debuff on targets. Say you have 3 RKs. One of them would go 3 points. The other one would only get 2 points, and the third one would get 1 point. Which means one RK would have a chance to put the -15, one would have the chance to put the -10, then the third one would have the chance to put -5%, which will make the total buff -30% fire mitigation, instead of just -15. If all the RKs had -15 traded, it's not gonna stack. Here's an example from a TG run I did with 3 RKs. As you can see, this captain has 3 Mystifying Flame debuffs on him. He's taking a lot more fire damage. That's just a quick tip to increase your DPS if you have more than 1 RK. Number 4. +5% critical chance in yellow line. A quick tip to increase your critical chance in red line. Put 5 points into crit defense, and then on the next line, you can get 5% tactical crit chance. The critical chance cap is 25%, but this will go over the cap and put you at 30%. And number 5. Combustion spreads Rid of Fire. When you trade all the way down into red line as an RK, get the skill Combustion, which is pretty much a huge AoE bomb that you drop on your enemy. And you can see from the set bonuses on the side at the bottom, get Seething Truth. Combustion spreads the current tier of Rate of Fire to all enemies hit. As you can see on the tooltip, effects applied to enemies within 5 meters, damage, and it spreads the current tier of Rate of Fire. Let's just see this in work. Put a Rate of Fire on this target, pop Combustion, run away, You can see as I tab between the mobs, they all got rid of fire. That's a good little tip for increasing your AoE DPS. That's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.